a short week, do you think that that's kind of, I know physically it's tough, but a mental advantage after a loss to get right back to work and focus in on the next opponent? And number two is there anything specifically you tell a team when they're off to a slow start, when maybe the results aren't there at 0-2, but you want them to keep focused that it's a long season?
Well, I'll answer the second question first. Yeah, I mean, I think every day we just try to come in, improve, get better. And, you know, if we continue to do those things and, you know, the results will take care of themselves. That's, you know, always been my message. So, and that's the message to the team right now. As far as it being a short week, I think that's the case right now. So, yeah, we want to turn the page after a tough loss, and we have an opportunity to do that. But at the same time, it's we want to make the corrections from the game yesterday, and you know, get focused on Jacksonville. They're a tough, competitive team. They're playing well, and this will be a tough game for us. So we've got to prepare for that in a short amount of time.
Steve?
Brian, where do the fixes need to begin on defense?
Well, I mean, communication, run defense, pass defense. I mean, we got a lot of corrections to make. I mean, there were some bright spots, some improvement in a few areas, but you know, too many big plays, and you know, getting off the field on third down. And then look, there's critical moments in the game where, you know, we've got to make, there's plays to be made, communication that has to be made, and we've got to make them. We didn't do that yesterday.
Adam?
Brian, I was hoping I'd get an update on Byron Jones, and given the short week, does that lessen his, you know, the chances of him playing on Thursday?
You know, he's in this morning. We'll just take a look at this. Obviously, it's a quick turnaround, so you know, he'd have to heal, you know, pretty quickly. But we're not ruling him out or anything just yet. Just take a look and see how this goes the next couple of days, and then again, look, we're playing in 3 days, so we'll see where he is. But no official update right now, Adam.
Omar?
I wanted to ask about Noah and the challenge that he had yesterday and the struggles that he had. I'm sure everybody struggled, but how do you hope that a young player responds to what he just faced and what he went through?
Yeah, I mean, Noah's a mentally tough kid. I think playing against a receiver of that caliber, you know, the entire day, you know, after an injury, you know, getting put in that position. He had some instances where he covered him well, and then you know, he had a lot of instances where Diggs was able to get open against him. So I think it's a good experience for him. I think he'll learn from it. I think you know, just watching it, there's some things he could have, you know, he could easily do better to put himself in a little bit better position. And I think hopefully in the long run, this will be a good thing for him.
Joe Shad?
Flo, what are some of the preparation challenges and maybe logistical challenges that football, you know, non-football coaches might not think about having the short week? How do things get condensed?
There's a lot of challenges, but at the end of the day, you just don't have enough. You don't have as much time. I would say that's you don't have your normal schedule. You don't have your normal amount of time that you would hit first, second, third, red zone, 2 minute. You know, you just don't. Everything's condensed, so you just got to get it all in a short period of time. You know, as far as, you know, trying to put anything brand new in, it's hard to do. You don't get it practice. You never see it full speed. So those are just a few of the challenges, Joe. I mean, at the end of the day, you just, for most teams, I imagine, you know, you may throw 1 or 2 new wrinkles in, but it'd be off of something that you already have in. So there's not a lot of new learning. So, I mean, those are just a couple of the challenges, but that's also, you know, especially after, you know, a tough loss, you know, you want to kind of get it turned around and get out on the field quickly. So, you know, I think that's going to be in this building. That's we're looking forward to it.
Safid?
Good morning, Flo. I wanted to ask you
Morning.
something about Preston Williams and his body control. It seems like he has a tendency to maybe jump while he's catching passes and also, maybe like falling over after, making a catch or, what can you say more about him kind of keeping things under control, not jumping for every catch and maybe having some better body control?
Preston's a young player. He's very talented. When we talked to him about, just his technique at the top of routes, catching the football with his hands. He works at it, a lot. He works very hard at it. I think I would say he's good body control. He's made some tough catches in traffic, up over guys. So, just from a body control standpoint, I think, I know he had a nice catch on the sideline there. That kept his feet in. So, look, players have good plays, bad plays. We try to correct the bad ones, but I don't want to label him a bad body control guy. I think he's got good body control, in my opinion.
Josh?
Hey, Flo, from an offensive line standpoint, how do you think they performed in week 2?
It was a good front. They got good pass rushers. A couple of the blitzes got in there. They sacked us 3 times. But overall, I thought, we had time to step up and throw the football. There was space for us to do that. And we executed from that standpoint at an okay level. But again, we just got to continue to improve, get better. There's definitely some instances where there was probably a little bit too much pressure. We probably needed a little bit more time, especially in the critical moments of the game. So I thought we're making some strides, we're making some improvement, but at the same time, we can do it. We can be better.
Hal?
Hello, Brian. I wanted to ask you about your pass rush. What are you seeing out of your pass rushers thus far in these 2 games, and what needs to happen for it to improve?
Yeah, I'm not enough. That'd be my answer to that. I think we got to do a better job, as a coaching staff of putting them in position to rush better. And then the players, they got to work their techniques, their fundamentals, and just rush better. So again, there's a lot of things that we have to work on. I would say that's, certainly at the top of the list, and, we'll continue to improve and get better. We're still trying to, find who does what best and put guys in positions where they're doing what they do best from a rush standpoint, from a coverage standpoint, from a zone standpoint, from a blocking standpoint, from a return standpoint. We've got to, we as a coaching staff, and it starts with me, we've got to do a better job of putting guys in position to make plays.
Armando?
Morning, Brian. I'm wondering, I know that he missed early camp and he was on the physically unable to perform. What is your confidence with Xavier Howard's health and recovery? And what would be the thinking for not having him cover Stephon Diggs yesterday?
I think I would say he's healthy. We wouldn't put him out there if we didn't think he was healthy. Obviously we had injuries yesterday, as you guys saw. But he was on Brown, and I think he's healthy. And to me, we just got to cover the guys that we're on. I think we had issues with Stephon Diggs. We had issues with Brown. We had issues with Beasley. So, I think we just need to put, my message to the guys is the guys we put you on, those are the guys, we expect you to cover. Whether that's Noah on Diggs or Byron Jones on Diggs or X on Brown or Nick Needham on Beasley. We all just had to do a better job of covering. And, we felt like that was the best matchup. So that's why we did that.
Steve 1?
0-2 is tough, Brian, but what are the things that have happened in these first 2 weeks that you feel like you can build on?
0-2 is tough. So, I mean, there's a lot to build on, or excuse me, not build on, but improve on. And that's kind of where my focus is. It's, you know, a lot of the things, like I said last week, are correctable. We made some corrections yesterday, not enough to win the game in all areas, offensively, defensively, in the kicking game. It was a more competitive game than the week before. We had a lead in the fourth quarter. We've got to finish. So there were some things we got to build on. The thing that we have to do is we have to finish. And that's, you know, something we've talked about, something you learn to do as a team, as a unit. We need to learn how to do that. And you know, that's kind of where my focus is right now.
All right, time for two more. We'll go to Omar.
Flo, I want to ask you, the Bills hit you guys with a lot of crossing routes. That's something that teams do to, I'm sure you know, to teams that play press defense.
Mm-hmm.
Is the issue the fact that you're not getting pressure on the quarterbacks, or something that you need more zone?
I mean, it's a combination of pressure, mixing coverages, you know, potentially keeping someone on the weak side. I mean, all those things, and we have answers to all those things. But you know, as a press team, as a cover one team, you know, we got to cover better. I mean, you know, we can't, you know, let people off the hook from that standpoint, and we got to coach it better. We got to mix the coverages. We got to cover better. So, I mean, we're all a part of it. This is one team. We got to coach it better. It starts with me. We got to play better. I think the players understand that. We're not pointing fingers or making excuses. We're just going to come to work and work to get better. That's, you know, one thing, you know, I think it was Steve, you asked what we can build on. It's that these guys work. They come to work every day and they want to get better, and it's important to them. So we'll build on that. And, you know, my experience says that we will improve if we have the attitude that, you know, we've had.
All right, final question. We'll go to Joe.
Well, I feel like you're trying to keep a pretty positive mindset. I noticed at halftime, as the team was coming off the field, you were encouraging your players. You have a lot of young players and a lot of new coaches. Wondering how you personally are balancing wanting to maintain positivity and also the reality of sense of urgency.
Well, there's always a sense of urgency in this league, for sure. And I try to be positive, you know, more than not positive, for lack of a better term. But I think these guys, they look. There's a lot of there's a great sense of urgency in this building. I think you know, guys want to be good. They want to win. They want to improve. They want to get better. There's definitely a sense of urgency. So I guess I don't want to misconstrue positive encouragement with a lack of sense of urgency. I don't think anyone really feels that here. And players, they work extremely hard. They want it. I understand that. It's not all positive. I mean, I try to be demanding and tell them how important, you know, each play is. But at the same time, you know, look, when we kick a field goal to go down one score, and you know, we're getting the ball at half. You know, after the half, I mean, that's something to be excited about. So I'm going to be excited, and I'm going to encourage them. Hey, hold on, Matt. So one last thing, I just want to, you know, send condolences from, you know, myself and the Dolphins to James White and his family. He lost his father, Tyrone, in a car accident here in South Florida yesterday. His mom's in critical condition. His father's an incredible person who did a lot for a lot of young people in South Florida. James, Gio Bernard, along with a lot of other guys that, you know, he's, you know, it's a big loss. I mean, you guys can write about all you want from a Dolphin standpoint, but I would just take a look at what his father Tyrone did for a lot of young kids in South Florida, and just want to send my condolences to James White, his family. Look, I know he's on the Patriots, and everybody, we compete against those guys, but we're a football family in the National Football League, and I just want him to know he has our support. And we're praying for his mom right now, and his dad was a truly a great man who did a lot for a lot of people, and I think people need to know about that. So